Why can't it be as simple as all of us are children of the Creator, so to speak, because at one point we were all children. No matter whose child you are in this place, no matter who your parents are, all of us are all children of the Creator because the parents and everybody else and their parents and so on and so forth are all the same thing, all children of that same Creator that created whatever this is. The end. We go from there. Instead of all this Creator, that Creator, the other Creator, doesn't matter which one, if there's one, right? And if that one is really the Creator, then from that Creator, that's the whole, the zero, or whatever, that's God, Well, that's outside of where names and labels and even our language exist, I would guess. Because that created all of this and our language and us and all that we create. So it all goes back to the one, or it all goes back to the source, or it all goes back to the Creator. That's it. That's it. So now that we're all children of Creator, all right here, right now, in the present moment, all at the same time, instead of going with all the stories of the child of the Creator that it's here to save everything, well, that's all of us, all at the same time, because we're all children of that Creator, right? So we are all that Savior. All here to do that. Saving. But that has to start with, I know now. Has to start right here where I started to grow, where I came into this world and grew into this body, and I had to start inside here. All of it was inside here and radiating from within here. I had to find that simple, but so easily missed point or spark of my own beginning. For so long, until I really went deep inside to really look back, feel back, and consider, what was I before this whole thing that became this experience that I come to know as life, and this and that, and the things I did, and the things I watched and believed, and all of that. What was I before all that? And that's where I was pulled to, or that's where I was put inside myself, because I feel it was out of no choice of my own at the time, because of just the totality of my own circumstances put me in that spot where I found that spot, because I had to. I also had to make the choice to go within and look, so to speak, feel, so to speak, to know, to find, to really find that point of knowing truth, knowing the truth that we are all children of the same creator. We only have different physical parents who only had different physical parents who were all children of the same creator. I was just taught, remembering back best I can, as early as I can. All I can remember being taught was, I am not that. This is what you are. You are this. You are that. You are this. You are arms, legs, fingers. You are this material thing with blood and this and that, and then you pick a role in this life and you do this and you do that. And this is what you do. This is how you do it. And everything outside of that was still outside of me. But that became everything, was the outside, and just the belief in everything I was told about the outside. And everything I was told kind of about what this must be, to the point logically enough to where I guess at some point I decided I was just another animal like all the other animals and shut off to in here. And just was stuck outside. My consciousness was stuck. Always looking outward, searching outward for anything and everything. Never really turning back and focusing back inward. Just due to upbringing, due to how life was taught to me and how I perceived life. And it just goes with the same thing that happened to everyone else that I have, in my opinion, that I have ever known. All the same types of things were done to them, taught to them. And those are the same very things that keep them, whoever they might be, because I don't know. I can't speak for anyone but myself. But I think that's those beliefs and that upbringing and just life itself, how it was taught in general, is what keeps them still looking outward as well, without being able to fully go inward. Or even partially, because I realized looking back, I had a hard time going inward. I really did. I was almost stuck in this outer reactionary state, not all the time. I know that it wasn't all the time, because there was plenty of times where I was, plenty like in the moment, so to speak, but still, even in those moments or those times, or, it's just my regular life in general, how I operated, I realized my in the moment was very, very much so trapped in this logic area of my left brain. That became almost my entire reality. Almost my entire reality was how I logically perceived the world and physicality and this and that, and there wasn't the spiritual component, the energetic component aspect, because the way I was taught. So that was just me and my experience. But that being mine, and knowing how us common folks, so to speak, are taught the common core type of common knowledge, so to speak, that's supposed to be common knowledge, that a lot of it is twisted to be destructive in nature. By who? I don't know. It's only, from what I can tell, the way things continue to be taught, only because that's how they have been taught. And the ones that have been taught, some of them can't see that they've been taught incorrectly, and the ones that have been taught to teach that stuff have an even harder time seeing through the incorrectness of some of this, because it's become so much of their life. It has become their life. It has become who they are. It's who they think they are. It's what they relate everything to, without getting out of that narrow focus of whatever field that might be. That narrow point of focus, field of view that seems so broad and expansive when your view or your area of study is something like physics or astronomy or chemistry or any of it, it doesn't matter. Philosophy, but it doesn't matter. Anytime that there's a label or there's a group or there's this area attached to some aspect of knowledge or some body of knowledge, now it's being taken from the overall body of knowledge that is everywhere and should be available to all, because we're all here together in this place as children of the Creator that should have access to all the same knowledge as everyone else. But we do not, and we have not for quite a while, it seems. And that's what's caused everything to be compartmentalized into smaller and smaller and smaller divisions of itself, and labeled all these different things in different areas and different things. And yeah, instead of everything being one all-encompassing experience and body of knowledge, and this energy we call life, and this experience we call life as we go through from birth to death in this place together. If I can get that, especially with the way I grew up, and then all the belief that I believed in, all the belief I had on this concept or that, and that this is necessary and that's necessary and that's necessary because some justification, some other justification. It's because someone's right about that over there probably. No, now that I don't have any of that, and it's so simple to me to see the simplicity of life itself and the interconnectedness of life itself in all of us, within us, around us. It's hard to fathom up here how we are still in this state of all these divisions. Still, with the ability we have and with the ability to see through these things. Because like I said, I feel like I came way late to the party here on the whole truth thing. The whole truth thing. And here's the thing about that. There were so many other folk that had so many opportunities that I did not have to know and learn these things and feel these things and be in positions to make, I would think, huge, sweeping, positive change with ease. For some reason, have not, or are unable to, or unwilling to. I don't know. I don't get, though, how with this, see, and that's the other thing, is that I do get it. Is I get how we are put, because I was a part of that same division and that same fighting. in that same bickering and that same negativity, and I would spread negativity as well and lash out, you know, like a little kid. And so I get it, because I was stuck there too. But now that I'm not stuck, now that since I found the truth in me and the truth of who I am, what I am, and that is not what I was. It was so much more that, but it was not, I was not that until I became this, until I became who I am now. And who I am now has very, very little to do with it's hard to say, my past. Though my past, that whole big conglomeration of experiences and things that I went through, that is my past, that is now gone, allowed me to build me into me. It is the best way I can put it. And it was a process that is still ongoing, is what I so want to get across and convey, and have been trying to others since it started for me. Though at first I didn't know things were coming out so fast and so erratically that it was hard to kind of pin down. Because really how does one pin down the fact to them, to me, that I had found infinity within myself in a finite body? How do I convey that is kind of where I was at, but I couldn't use those words in that way at that time. I could only feel it. It was from the place where words didn't exist, the place I hardly ever went, it was inside. And I almost never spent time there. And that was my problem for so long, that I just didn't know, because I didn't know what I didn't know. So in that, I could not realize what I did not realize was here waiting to be realized. And it was from the start, but I was stuck looking outward all the time to never really get the depth of anything or anything deeper of the knowledge that I was taught. Because had I got the deeper in the things that I came up to be taught, all this stuff we're taught us common folk, there was so much truth hidden in plain sight in deeper levels all over the place, that when finally, for me, when I found that, it all came together. Started to. It's a process, still is. I was just